When you're in a relationship with a man, you have to listen to what he says and how he feels about women in general. Because a lot of us are dating men that are homosocials, and homosocials mean that he's not homosexual at all. He just does not find women interesting. Everything that he finds interesting has something to do with other men. Going to sporting events, hanging out with them, watching the game, playing basketball. If you ask him, hey, what do you think about this comedian? Oh, she not funny. You don't think no women are funny? Oh, what do you like to do with women? Everything involves another male. So they only find desire in having sexual experiences with women, but they don't find women interesting. And if you listen to that, you can save yourself a lot of trouble up front, because you'll find out he really don't like women like that. Because everything he finds interesting in is stuff that him and his homeboys would do. Him and his homeboys will like photos on Instagram. Him and his homeboys will try to send photos that are inappropriate back and forth. That's what he finds interesting.
She said, homosocial.
Homosocial.
I said, hold on.
Hey, put that on a card.
My are just cool. I mean, I just like them. They just fun to hang around. I don't know.
That's my dog.
Right.
But it's okay for that to be your dog, but do you also find joy in hanging out with your wife or your spouse or your significant other? Some men don't find any joy in women. They don't find them entertaining. They don't think they're...
If women liked men, why don't women listen to men? They don't actually like.
Now, there's another woman trying to shame men into becoming women. That's some of the dumbest shit I ever heard. She won't admit that she's probably an insufferable woman, torturing men's brain, trying to make men sit around and listen to a bunch of garbage. And she's mad that men are now protecting their peace. You think about it for a second, how women talk, especially many of today's women. They sit around, they gossip, they talk about problems that, have nothing to do with anything that has any effect on anything that matters in that man's life. Envision a relationship. You worked hard all day long, 10, 12 hours a day. Who wants to come home and hear about what she thinks about Brenda at the job, whose boyfriend had an affair, or so-and-so's problems and issues? So they want men to be these emotional tampons so they can dump a bunch of garbage. They think men are women. They want you to talk to them like women. They want you to bond with them like women. They want you to take on all this drama. Women gossip. They want you to sit around and listen to gossip that has nothing to do with your life. That's what women do. They sit around, girls groups, talk about gossip. We talk about sports. We talk about solving problems. We talk about issues. If I talk to my brothers or any of the guys and I present them with a problem, it's a real problem that affects my life. It's not about gossip or goofy shit that I've extracted out of some feelings and emotion. It's about real shit that's going on in my life, not some shit I watched on some show or whatever else. It's about real stuff that we care about, not other people's problems that you're sitting around gossip. They want to get everything from that man that they would normally have in a relationship with a woman. So they're trying to transition you into a woman. You see, there was a time period in our history where women and men really, women would be out working whatever they're doing at the house and the field and whatever. Men would be out plowing the fields, farming, taking care of animals. And they didn't really come together until the end of the day. Maybe sit at the table and eat dinner or whatever else. But everybody was busy. The women spent time with women. So they got different types of energies from different relationships. But not today's modern women. They don't cook. They don't clean. Everything's probably DoorDash for the most of them. So they have a whole lot of time to sit on their ass and have conversations because they're not busy. They're not domestic anymore. They're not really clean. We got washers, dryers, dishwashers, all kinds of tools to help. So they have they're not busy. They have a whole lot of time to be creating bullshit and drama. And they want to take that bullshit and drama. And that's why they talk about this emotional intelligence thing. Really, men's supposed to have emotional discipline. What emotional intelligence means to them is you're going to sit around and bond with me like a female. And they'll turn you into a complete Mitch. Every day, they'll come around and sit around and talk that shit. In the middle of the night, they want to pillow talk about other problems and drama and shit like that, like you're some bitch. You're sitting there with your meat hard, and she want to talk about some bullshit that you don't care about. Somebody else's problem. It don't pay you no money. It don't help you out. That's why, you know what you got to do? When they start talking this bullshit about other people's problems and other people's issue, send her ass a cash app request for therapy. Like, okay, you want to talk to me about other people? If you're going to talk to me, your safety is not in jeopardy. Your job is not on the line. Nobody's threatening you or harming you. If you want to talk about other people's problems, I'm going to send you a Cash App request for an hour of my time at $250. Period. In fact, if you guys want to donate to the channel, you can do that too. Find my Cash App and send a super chat. Leave it down below. Make sure you hit the like button. That's free. But if you want to sit around and give me other people's problems, send me a Cash App. Because I don't care what's going on with other people's lives. I care about my life and the excellence that I'm chasing in my life. See, men focus about what they need to be doing for themselves, not about what drama is going on around the corner or what other people's problem is. And that's just the problem. So a lot of these women, because they don't have any domestic skills or tasks or things to focus on, they become insufferable because they watch all these TV shows and they're sitting around analyzing and figuring out what that you ain't doing that some guy in the movie's doing. And it becomes a pain and they become an irritation. Irritation. So I know right away by her conversation that she's a painful older woman. She's hard on the brain, punishing. Like you can tell, like a woman like Ebony K. Williams, they are punishing on. That's why they be single for a long time. Punishing on the brain. I mean, you're talking about they can drive you into mental illness. Cortisol level be up. You start gaining weight. And you just and you just decide like you just can't stand them because the pain they inflict on your brain. The reason why these women stay single because they're painful on your brain. Easy on the eyes, hard on the brain. So they don't want to talk about how insufferable they are. They don't. That's why I say, look, these women are who they are. I love them where they're at, but you got to take a break from them. I be at the gym. 9 times out of 10, most mature men are by themselves. Anyhow, they're not even with their homeboys. But these women, they will wreck your brain if you spend too much time around them. That's why, here's my Motrin bottle. I keep a bottle of Motrin with me because you're listening to their damn mouth. How do you think my head got bald? From talking to women. That's why all my hair fell out. All the years. I've spent probably 30 years of my life in relationships talking to women. Now I'm bald. You see? This, you ladies, look at this. Bald head. Nobody wants to hear that bullshit you guys be talking about. And you got to tell them. You got to literally look them in the eye. Unapologetically masculine. I don't care what's going on with your job. It ain't paying no money. Ain't nothing being paid at this house but your job. I don't give a rat's ass what's going on in other people's relationships, other people's lives. They ain't putting $1 in my pocket. If you ain't talking about something that's improving your life or the people that are close to you, I don't give a damn about that shit. Filter your life and the bullshit that you bring to the table. That's what these women need to do. And men don't care about that stuff. Period. Especially if that dude's in a relationship and you're not even taking care of his needs or the things that you need to be doing for him. Why the hell would he be sitting around listening about somebody else's problems? And that's what these women don't even think. That's why so many of them be single, man. They be looking good. They be like, yo, why is she single? Because she's painful. That motherfucker. See, nowadays you get smart. I'm 51 years old. When you see them single like that, you talk to them for a little bit, and you find out why that other motherfucker's running. He's running for a reason. Now I've just joined the run. Like I see an old head at the Wawa like a couple weeks ago. You're looking at this nice one with this fat ass and all that stuff. And we look at each other's eyes. I say, man, that's a world of trouble right there. That looked like a crash out Keisha right there. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, man. The post-nut clarity depression is a bitch. After you pound that out and you listen to her mouth and her, man, you be like, oh, no. You be regretting that shit. I know you old heads. You know what I'm talking about. And some of the young dudes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You pound one of them out, and in the morning you be like, oh, you listen to her mouth. You go to her refrigerator. She only got Chinese food in there. The bathroom dirty. She got meds in the closet. And then you like, oh, wow, what did I get into? Now she talking to you about some shit, some ghetto shit, some goofy shit. But she look good. But her brain is damaged. And now you getting your ass punished listening to this broad. I mean, you got a migraine. Like, hell no. That's why so many dudes are single. I don't say, they say it's a male loneliness epidemic. There ain't no lonely. There may be a horniness epidemic, but there ain't no loneliness epidemic. As soon as these dudes bust a nut, they get that post-nut clarity. They start evaluating that woman. They be like, hell no, I'm going back home. I'm going to protect my peace. We got now. Because I always say loneliness sometimes is just horniness turned upside down. After that guy's released his load a couple times, he's like, oh, that's why these relationships don't work out. Be like 1 month in, dude come in hot and heavy, think he can handle the torture, the mental torture, because these women don't do no self-development. Their minds is just immature and crazy. So after about a couple rounds in the sack with her and he starts evaluating everything, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Maybe he'll do the same thing in about 3 or 4 months when he gets he gets the courage again to go in and deal with one of these torturous women. But hell no, these women are insufferable. That's why they be single, man. But don't let these women shame you out of giving up your peace. Because the moment you get locked in with a house or whatever else, make sure you pick the women, the 5% women that know how to add value to a man's life, increase his peace, his happy. You stay longer. Look at me, a guy like me. I don't take any medication. I'm 51 years old. I'm about to hit the gym right now. You don't want to be all worn out and burnt out. There's a lot of dudes married to these type of broads, sitting around talking rubbish that he don't even care about. But he'll listen to that shit because maybe you should give him some marital missionary every once on the weekend. He don't want to ruin that. You listen to that bullshit. But anyhow, make sure you guys hit the like button. I'm out, man. I got to go work out. Shit. Homo, whatever the hell she called, homosocial. These women come up with some bullshit, man. That's desperation. I'm out.